Hi, my name's Ian Puddick. Anyone that knows me knows I'm very, very lucky for going out and finding leaks on things.
Lovely. Andrew, I wanted to talk to you about your time with Fernbridge. I understand it's been over a course of many months that you've spoken to.
Yeah, that was correct. First, they came and I was ready. First, the police know when they do the investigation looks, when they're finding me, they must know my date of birth, my birthday and everything. So why do they come bang, when I'm going out on my birthday, why do they come on my birthday? Bang on my birthday, they come on my door and everything and say, we've come on to, we need to talk to you about crimes of the past.
So that would have been May
15th.
May 15th, 2013, yeah.
So they actually approached you first?
Yeah, on my birthday, they just came to my door. They said, you take quite hard to find, I said, yeah, I preferred it that way, because I don't want people on past, well, I didn't want people up past, but they're all old now and stuff, so I got scared, I did get scared, but I'm not scared anymore of you.
No. And it was two police officers, was it? Were they from...
it was, yeah, from
London, they'd come up from London.
Settle himself?
No, Settle didn't come first. No, well, Scottish. And Tamley and
Nathan Jones.
Okay. And they approached you first. They said, can we have a word with crimes of the past? To begin with, it was informal discussions at this house?
It wasn't full discussions. Yeah, it was here.
Yeah.
But they says, because I'm a carer for Paul, I'm firstly a carer for him, and you know, like, that's what I do, I care for him, and I'm a registered carer and everything for him. And, so they didn't know what he knew about my past or like that, and so they took you to the... they asked if it were okay with her, we went upstairs in another room. I said, no, it's okay, you got anything to say, you say it to me. I thought, have I done something wrong, and what have I... And I was questioning myself, But I haven't done anything wrong. I'm thinking to myself, but the thing that come on my birthday, they could have come any other time, but your birthday.
Yeah. It seems a bit of an unusual date to actually spring that.
On your birthday, and it buggered my birthday up. Sorry, I don't want to swear, but it buggered my birthday up a bit. And
so they were.
And then after that, because I didn't know fully what they wanted, they did tell me a little bit. We didn't go into interviews there and then. They had to rearrange so they could use the interview room in Bridlington, because they've got a special interview room where children go, you know, like victims go and stuff, and children and other stuff. It's like a safe house type thing.
And was that where most of the interviews took place?
That's where they all took down in Bridlington.
In Bridlington. And that was is that a separate building to the police station?
Yeah, it's not in the police station, it's an house. It's an old police officer's house that's been made into an interview.
You were later taken to London, weren't you? When they took you on that walk?
Could have been.
Earl's Court, the officers at Earl's Court, yeah?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, right.
But
yeah.
Have you been told not to say anything about that?
Maybe.
Who told you? Who told you? Tell me. Andy, who told you? Who told you not to say anything about it? Because we don't want Chris to come across as sloshy.
No.
So, and I know that you can put a story across. So, if you've got something to say, Andy, let's have it now. All right, all of it. Yeah, please.
I was told how to do interviews and stuff, and I've got to do it a certain way because it can interfere. Because now I know the house is bugged. I'm thinking to myself, I better do it there.
Well, I mean, all it is just if you were brought to London, which I think you probably were. You were brought to London.
That's a straightforward, factual thing.
We don't have to, we don't have to go into it any more than that. I mean,
or we just want you to tell the truth. Now, when we make this, if there's something that you're not happy about, then that's a different matter. But when you talk to us, we'll ask questions. You just tell us the truth. Like, what was your question that you had trouble asking?
The question was whether or not he was taken down to London to.
I've been to London, yeah. But that's I can't.
But was you taken to London? You was, weren't you, by the police?
Possibly, yeah.
Right, so we'll take that as a yes.
Um,
Okay. You see the fear on the man?
yeah,
It's,
and that's, the amount of hours that you've obviously spent with the police, quite a lot. And was it a pretty regular thing? Would they take you down? Would they take you down to
No.
Bridlington every week, or was it
Bridlington, it was done monthly over.
every month?
Yeah, I've done over 70 hours of interviews with them
Yeah.
on different things,
No,
and I've still got interviews to do.
they were doing it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, weren't they?
Well,
They were doing it 3 days.
they do it 3 days at a block.
In a block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, they come 1 week, do it 3 days, and then they might come another week, or they might come another week, or they might come a month. Sometimes first it was every week.
Yeah.
No, first it was every week. First month, then second month it was half of a week,
Yeah.
and then it went to like once a. Then it went like monthly.
a bit less.
Yeah, and they said they got more interviews to get them because, but they haven't yet been for any more interviews.
Mm-hmm.
How many hours have you done so far, Andy?
70. It was over 65, but now it's 70.
Yeah. And when was the first time that you noticed that there were other officers there that you'd not seen in past interviews? In terms, when I'm talking about the members of the security services, MI5 and special.
That only things started on and getting a bit tight on the collar, if you like,
Yeah.
because I want to do the right thing. I want to see the truth come out. I want to see these people brought to just, people done to me, but not just to me, to other people and stuff. And it's really, really, really hard because you don't know. It starts with when you come out of the care system, you don't trust authority.
Mm-hmm.
You've been taught that from square one. So I'm trying to trust the authority, but the authority aren't playing ball. They're just using me as a pawn, like just a thing to try to, and that's not my doing. That's not. It's just I'm a victim when I'm giving them evidence, and they're just turning it around and just.
Why do you think they're doing that, Andy?
Sometimes I think they might be trying to set me up. Sometimes I think, but it's only thoughts in my mind.
Why are they trying to set you up? In what manner are they trying to set you up?
I don't know.
Can I put something to you? Are they, like when you were going through all this from such an early age, from when you go back to Sydney Cook, etc., etc.,
Yeah.
you must have had a lot of threats against you.
From all the time.
All the time.
You're told not to tell people, you're told not to
say anything.
say things. It's just put into you and your family. When you haven't got a family and somebody becomes your family, and
that's what happened. Is that you know what Stockholm Syndrome is?
no.
Stockholm Syndrome is when the victim believes that the perpetrators have become best mate or family, like you just said.
That's why it's hard. It's hard.
Andy, you've got to remember that we're here because we believe you. We're not here because
It's
we
not
don't
just
believe
that,
you.
it's not the fact that you believe me, it's how many people have come since I was one of the first people to. I can understand people not first believing me because I was one of the first people to come.
Yeah. Well, this is your chance.
But there's been loads and loads of people come forward saying the same stuff. Why do you think the police are so keen on me? They'd arrest me if I was lying by now.
Yeah.
They'd have arrested me by now if I was. Surely they would have.
But I think the point is that really I think what James is saying is we understand that. We understand Settle and his team.
It's not Settle, it's the people. It's people who above him.
Hang on, yeah, I was just about to say that. Settle's playing a straight bat. But as you know, for want of a better word, dark forces exist around him. And if you remember, we had that conversation where, for your own sake, I said to you, you needed to get from Settle who these people were.
Still couldn't tell you stuff like that. If he knows your lines have been recorded,
Yeah.
if he knows your lines have been
But
recorded,
he did confirm they were.
He's recording there, it's not affecting it.
didn't he?
Yeah, they come. Well, they want Firmbridge, you know. They have Firmbridge.
Yeah.
It's not Firmbridge who does bugging.
Exactly. And he also...
It's a special. It was a special forces of special branch, but he didn't say there was. But they did tell when we was in the hotel. Nathan let out that there was special branch.
Yeah. But he did. He wouldn't tell you the unit, but he did say they were Dutch special branch.
Oh no, that was early. That's to do with Amsterdam.
To do with
That's
Amsterdam.
totally
But they're
different
parts
thing.
of the... Yeah, what I'm saying, they're still not Firmbridge. They're still security. And they were there with...
That's a different thing altogether.
Yeah,
I won't
yeah.
talk much about
Yeah,
that.
I know, I appreciate that, but we just
We just need to get it recorded. You know,
we just want the spooks bit, the fact that the spooks are involved.
And they were on a couple.
They're involved all around.
And
But the thing is, they've got the nice. They do the nice guy, the nasty guy.
Good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, and when they get nasty, they don't just like. They're like, if that were your keys, they just go. You're not doing it our way, and they go like that, and they just come like within a second to your door, and you don't know where they come from, and they can come at any time. You know, like they came at 4 o'clock in the morning.
But they also made you sign documents, didn't they?
I've signed documents. Yeah, I have signed documents.
And what was that? Is that the Official Secrets Act?
One of them would have been the Secret Official Act. Yeah.
Did you recognise it as the Official Secrets
The
Act?
problem is, some of the forms that I signed, because I'm dyslexic, and I know I am dyslexic now, but I'm still getting over things, because then I've got some good people now, like, thanks to Chris and thanks to Bill, some people like are helping me and starting to things like, I got a bit of donation and to buy me a pair of headphones, so
you could blog.
So I could blog.
Right, let me just stop this for a minute, right, and let me just put something to you, right. I'm going to ask you a question on behalf of James, right. Now listen, you went to see Sidney Cook last year, yes or no? You're not telling me. I'm asking you, and they said if I ask, you're allowed to answer a question.
Possibly.
No, the police told you, when they told you how to deal with an interview, they schooled you in how to do an interview, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, now we've come a long way here, Andy, and we are right by you and we've got your back. Now I know that you went to the Isle of Wight a year ago to see Sidney Cook in Parkhurst.
No. Oh.
What was the reason for the trip to the Isle of Wight?
Just an holiday.
Andy, come, bruv, because we might as well fuck off now if this is going to go like this, seriously.
So what did you say again?
Last year, you visited Sidney Cook in Parkhurst on the Isle of Wight for 3.5 hours. Yes or no? I'm not going to ask you about the conversation. Did you or did you not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, was that Firmbridge that told you to go and visit him?
I don't know. Told me to visit him, but it was.
Why did you go and visit him?
Who took you down to the island?
Hang on, Chris. Who told you, right? You don't just get in to see Sidney Cook. You don't. If I wanted to go and see Sidney Cook, no chance. Anyone in here, no chance. You just said yes. That you went to see Sidney
I can't
Cook.
talk about it because if you talk about that, then it's gonna. The guy will get walking free. He's due out next year, either end of this year or next year.
He won't walk free. All right. He will not walk free. All I want to know is, did Firmbridge send you to see Sidney Cook?
Not Firmbridge. It came from higher.
Okay. Who?
From the
Special branch?
Probably.
No,
Possibly.
what?
I don't know because they haven't told me.
They wouldn't identify
They
themselves.
haven't told me. I can't answer that question. It's not that I'm not.
But you can answer that you went to see Sidney Cook last year.
Well, I've answered it, haven't I? So.
Do it one more time for me because I love you.
Yeah.
Did you go and see Sidney Cook last year? Yeah. And you was assisted in that by higher powers.
Yeah. But
How long was it for? How long did you speak to him for? 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
no, longer than that.
3.5 hours?
3.5 hours because we wanted to find out some stuff.
What did they want us to find out?
It's,
He's going to talk to him anyway before he puts anything up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
if I go at any, I was told if I go at anything it wasn't the police who did it, it was
Special branch.
so it'll be denied.
So it's special
now
branch.
it'll be denied.
So was it special branch?
I don't know.
But MI5.
I don't know.
But it was one of them.
They're working with Dutch.
They were working with the Dutch, so it was secret services.
Possibly, but
But when it wasn't the police.
There's a case going on in Holland in the moment, and it's part of that. It was the people who came for that as part of, there's investigation going on in Holland at the moment, and it was part of that. That's all I can really say.
It's the Dutch special branch.
That was the Dutch side, yeah. That's all I can say.
And the reason why you went to go and see Sydney Cook is because.
Because Sydney Cook, you come in now. It's on my blog. I put on my blog, that's Fairground Sid and Sydney Cook's part of sort of all the same thing.
He's part of all of it, isn't he?
He was making snuff movies in Amsterdam. That's what the
Yeah.
Dutch police.
Did Sydney Cook at a party with Jimmy Savile?
Yeah, I did.
Was Prince Andrew there?
No comment.
That'll do. Fucking love it.
I'm not being,
Give me that one, London.
Phil, I'm not being bad. Can James do his thing before you?
But it's all.
I know what I'm doing.
I know.
All right, bro, and I think everyone's. Listen, I'm talking to Andrew on this one, Chris. Okay, and I think everyone here, we've got the. You just help. You just help when we need you, bro. All right.
Do a quick stop.
Andrew, can I just emphasise again? All we want to do is to get the truth. You have the truth. Now, we're not going to go and break the Official Secrets Act, trust me. There is no terrorism involved here, or any of that. These are about dirty fuckers that were killing children, torturing children, in the most horrific manner, on a regular basis, Andy. Now, I've spoke to you for quite a while, and I came up here because you said to me, I just want to get it out and tell the truth. So you spit it out, bruv, and clean yourself. Go ahead.
Just before we do, because this is on low again, so what I'm going to have to do is, can I try it with that?
Yeah, mate, yeah,
Yeah.
do what you got to do, mate.
Because
If we do,
Let him do that.
can it come sort of back, or will it have to be right in front of you? Mate, might as well
Yeah.
actually, no, leave it. We'll go again in a minute when he's sat down and he's ready.
Alright? Now, but listen to me. This man, he's not going to get you into trouble. I'm not going to get you into trouble.
there's things.
Because, hang on. Because some of this that we're getting on this visit may come out later on, when it's all over. So at least we've got it. I'll give you the illusion one. Alright, bro?
Andy,
Do what you got to do.
Andy,
Leave him alone.
this is coming.
No, leave him alone. Leave him alone.
We're normal people.
Mick, leave him alone. Alright? You talk to this man, all you got to do, bruv, is tell the truth. Look at me, look in my eyes. You trust me, alright? You trust me?
I trust you. You're one of us. Okay.
Do what you got to do. I'll do what I've got to do, you do what you got to do.
You see,
Oh, they'll bang us up in the same fucking cell, alright? We'll get on well together. Don't worry about it.
Is that, right, stop it.
I'll get it out there for you, and we will protect you as much as we can. There's no one going to fucking bang you up. Trust me. Why? How are they going to bang you up? If they bang you up, Andy, what are they going to say? Why are they going to bang you up? What are they going to say? They're going to have us outside the fucking court. Everyone.
why do they believe the rapists all the time and the bad people and never the good people?
Because they do to the good people what they've done to you. And if they're listening now, and I know they are, fuck you. That's what I'll say to
It
them.
made me feel like I want to commit suicide, but I can't do that because...
Well, you ain't going to commit suicide, are you?
I'm not suicidal.
Because you've got Paulie,
Paul,
and you've got a little team here around you, and we've got our
Well,
networks.
that's how they would make me feel at the time, like...
Of course they would, because they're fucking up and they're covering it up, Andy. Now this man, we've all come a long way, but that's not why you've got to do the thing here. It's because you're 45 years of age. Remember when we spoke, and I said to you, I deal with children, dead and alive. When I'm on my fucking deathbed, I will go peacefully because of what I've done.
But you're talking about... You're talking about... There is there's somebody's mother and everything that doesn't know what's happened to her son. And
I know. Well, let's tell them. What about Myra Hindley? Where's the kid that they never found? The kids they've never found?
Oh, I think they found this kid.
Yeah. Right. So let's go again. James?
Yeah.
James is trying to get something in the Sunday for you.
Yeah.
But he's just looking for a background. Give him a couple of little juicy snips. Done. Then we will work with you. Because I will stay up here a fucking week with you if I have to.
Yeah, look, you know they were spooks. I know they were spooks that were there. They were not Fernbridge, were they? They were bloody, you know, don't be frightened of them.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they rely on, frightening people.
And for an extension lead anywhere.
We'll just get
Extensively.
Yeah, just to give
Well, that's
us
what I fucking say if you want it all cool.
That's what they cover up.
could do with a glass of water.
So someone get into a glass of water.
Who wants it?
Me, just me, please.
Right, stop recording me.
In the interviews you've had with Fernbridge, just to confirm, there has been people from the security services sitting in on them from
There's
special
been
branch.
there was some of a couple of interviews have had a live link to London.
Right.
So I don't know who's been
From Bridlington.
from Bridlington, so I don't know who's been at the end of that live link. I couldn't tell you because they won't tell me. I didn't know. I just thought it was me give my side of the story to the police,
Right.
but it started getting silly. It's like when I started really contacting Chris, because the police only gave me. I tell you, all the police gave me is what was on that form, you know, police form there. That's all they gave me. They come on my birthday, and they only give me that. You know, there's 2 numbers.
So when you were having these interviews and they had the live link to London,
So yeah,
was that audio or was that visual as well? Were you
visual. There was 2 cameras. There was a camera doing the recording with the in-room courtroom equipment,
Yeah.
and a camera that went to a wire to a laptop.
Skype type thing, yeah.
I don't know how they sent it, but it went to a laptop. I don't know.
Yeah, it's called Skype, and
Yeah.
So there was Skype, but I thought as well that there were.
No, they've sent it through a bit more of that. They've got a special cable. Police have special cables that they send them underground, because laptop went there and it was connected to the cable. And it wasn't a telephone, it was a different type of
it
cable.
wasn't wireless.
It wasn't wireless. No,
It wasn't
no.
just a power cable.
No, it wasn't a power cable. They plug it into a thing, and it says, because they use it, you know, when they do interviews in court, they use it to do interview witnesses, live interviews, witnesses in court, and they've got a special cable, a special line, it probably is a telephone line, but they've got it, they plug into a special, it says live link.
Okay.
It just says live link, and then they plug into the live link.
Okay,
But there was also, was there not actual members of the security services sitting in on your interview?
Never in Bridlington.
But in London or other parts of the country?
Only when they came down here, to put stuff in the house and stuff like that, and because I knew they were doing that, because I didn't have a choice really.
Okay. Well, I thought there were 2 officers from the Fernbridge, but there were also 2 officers from special branches.
It could have been, I wouldn't know. I just assumed that there's different officers at different times.
Right.
There's been a time when there was 4 officers,
Yeah.
in interviews,
And
but
there were
I
2
can't tell you. I assume they're from Fernbridge.
Uh-huh.
Um,
So when did you know that the security services were involved in this?
the moment when they were going to put, I didn't know until the moment they were going to put, when they turned up one morning, like at 8 in the morning, when journalists were coming from a tower, you know, and it was on down here, so they cancelled it. They were coming down to see me, and we virtually got off the train in Hull when I'd phoned him up, and I said, you can't come, because they was taking us out of the house around that time, looking through the house and that, and they didn't want, if he'd come to the house, I was thinking, come to the house, because he'd have stumbled on and he'd seen them there, and he'd have stumbled himself on a nice little story, I think. But fortunately he turned back. You know.
Yeah.
I wanted him to come, but I can't say it. You can't. They're like, you here, and I'm talking on phone, and they're telling me, writing on pieces of paper, telling me, and
Tell you what to say, yeah.
Andrew, did you have sex with Leon Britton?
yeah. No.
Well done. No. Stop fucking about. Did you have sex with Lil Brim?
Yeah.
Did you have sex with Kenneth Clark?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah? Right. Who's the other one? Did you have sex with John Prescott?
He's been at parties and I have, yeah.
Did you
I'm
have
not
sex
sure.
with John Prescott?
I'm not sure.
Right, but you did with Kenneth Clark.
Yeah,
And you did with Leon Britton.
yeah.
So the sensitivity of these names, being that they were all top level MPs and they were in the cabinet at the time,
I've been to a party and
these were all in London.
there was somewhere around and there's a film of London, of a party at, well, I'm told there's a film, well, you know,
That's the film that Fernbridge keep referring to when they talk to you, yeah?
possibly, yeah.
Possibly.
Have they got that film?
I haven't seen the film they've got, but they've got films and they've got interviews, they've got tape interviews, they've got films. I haven't seen them, Bill, so I can't.
Oh, I know. But listen, let me ask one more another question. Did you ever film footage, or were you forced to film footage of a child being killed?
Only when they were on a kid myself.
Yeah.
Fair enough. No, but so you was under duress. What was the threat against you?
I was trapped in that thing. I was being abused myself,
Yeah.
and I was part of the abuse. What was happening there and then, and because the guy who was holding the camera wanted to have sex with the kid and wanted to keep the thing, then I got to get the camera to hold it for him.
Why had he done it?
Well, he did it.
Who was it? Sidney Cook.
Yeah, well, Sidney Cook was there. Yeah, Sidney Cook was there, but
But who passed you the camera so he could go and have sex?
that wasn't Cook. That Cook was already on bed.
Who was that?
I don't know his name. He has a moustache, little moustache.
But Sidney Cook was there.
I do know his name. It's gone out.
Tom?
Possibly.
Tom, right. Have you seen more than one child killed?
I've seen. Yeah.
How many children have you seen killed?
If you're good to remember that, I'm not.
No one's blaming you, but
No,
Yeah, but
this
it
isn't
makes-
you, it's the people that made you.
To make me think that it's
If
they
they
make it so thin to make you
believe
frightened.
the thing is,
What did they threaten you with? Did they say you could go to prison over it?
listen,
Right, let me put it like this.
Bill.
Let me put it like this.
Bill, you're not listening.
We're actually fucking getting it here.
You're not listening.
I'm fucking getting it here. Let me do my job.
not really
That's what he said to you.
Let me do my. Someone passed you the camera, and Sidney Cook was there. Yeah. Right. That's what you said. Right.
I don't
Now,
know.
let me just say,
I never saw
these
much.
numbers, you told me when to stop. Did you see, you told me when to stop. 1 child killed, 2 children killed, 3 children, 4.
The thing is, if I can just, I didn't see the killings because people like me go out the room. The killings were always done after the people, so there were no witnesses.
were these films?
That time you just said about the child, when I went back in the room, the child was dead, and there's other times the child was dead, and there's times I would have for death and got scars.
Yeah. So what you would do, you would leave the room. Because you just. Look, one thing we understand, Andrew, right, is that you was under severe threat. We know you were threatened with guns, you was threatened with death yourself. We know about the story when Sidney Cook nearly killed you and you had to be resuscitated, right? So, now, when you are attacked like that as a child and you were sent in that boarding school at the age of 8, yeah?
Yeah, I was in a special school and boarding school.
Right, special school, then boarding school, and from all that time, then they schooled you. And now they're saying to you that you could be the criminal.
they make you feel special. You could end up easily being one of those, but I didn't. It's saying why you didn't. Not
So,
everybody
was
comes
it
out of
like-
care and
Andy?
abusers.
Andy, you know these people being killed in snuff movies and that? Was it like maybe a few a year that you were aware of kids being killed?
Snuff movie. There's 3 grades of snuff movies in the industry. There's like grade A, grade B, and grade A, grade B, and then grade C.
Yeah.
And grade C is when somebody pays, some really rich person pays an awful lot of money for a kid's life.
What sort of money are you talking about? How much?
And you'll never see them films because I won't know fully how much, but you're in your like anything 20, 30,000 sometimes.
Yeah, a lot
That's
of
what we
money.
heard back in the 80s, that's the sort of money they
Yeah.
were paying.
Where the bottom end, it might be on in the 500 to £1,000,
Yeah.
and then in the middle end it'd be like 3,000 to 5,000.
But so let me just jump back. So you have been at parties where Sidney Cook
Yeah, but the
was
different-
with Jimmy Savile and Prince Andrew was there. Was Jimmy Savile there?
Several were there, yeah.
Right. What about Prince Andrew?
You make it wait,
Go on, you go.
Hang on.
might have been.
Well, Andy, you're doing well, bruv. Trust me, you're doing well.
Stop.
Listen, Andy,
What's that?
when you
You go through a turnstile, then and it goes to go through turnstile like this way. Garages are over there with all cars in, Queen's cars,
That's the Royal
garages.
Mews, mate.
And then
the Royal Mews,
there's like annexes there where staff live in. You know, like little bedrooms and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
there's a great big massive room where they all mix.
the servants' quarters.
Yeah, and that's where the party was.
Right. Who was there? Cameras off. Who was there?
Don't fully know every name.
Give me some. Come on, light me up.
Jimmy Savile, was he there? He was there.
He was there, yeah. Several were there.
Leon Britton.
Liam Britton was there. Maxwell were there.
Robert Maxwell.
From him who jumped off boat. Did that Maxwell get me?
Yeah, Robert Maxwell. He was there.
Mm.
And how many kids were there?
Not that many kids. It were like there were only there were about 4 girls and there were about 5 or 6 lads.
How old, Andrew?
About 12.
Did Sidney Cook supply
12,
those?
13. But no, they were supplied from Amsterdam. They were supplied from. There was the cake that we were booked for. We were ordered off the order list because there's an order list and.
So there was a list of you all with your photos, and they could just pick what kids they wanted.
Oh, it was standard practice.
So it was like, what was it, like a magazine or?
Bill, GB10.
Yeah, what's that?
GB10, that's the, if you like, the catalogue that's custom seized off Tripper. It was called GP10. It was a list of all boys under the age of 14 that were available for sale.
So there was a catalogue.
Catalogue.
Yeah, for people pay for highest bids for your pay and work.
So like, if I want to buy, say I want to buy a new drill, I look at the catalogue and it's all different drills.
yeah, it's like
Yeah,
that.
and there's all different drills. So I choose whatever drill I want, and they had that catalogue with kids. Who printed that?
I can't tell you bang who printed it. I don't know.
Chris, can you help on this one? Who printed that catalogue?
That catalogue was, I don't know if you know Operation Orchid.
Yeah.
Operation Orchid was not set up to catch Sidney Cook. It was set up in response to what was called the babysitting ring. This was a group of people
And sex with
around
babies.
London, including Leslie
Proper
Bailey.
babies.
Hang on.
Yeah,
Proper sex with babies.
Proper
Yeah.
babies. That's
How old
you
are
pay a
babies?
lot of money for that.
How old are
people.
babies? Months old? Year old?
Usually about a year up.
About a year old. Right, now,
and that, sorry Bill, this babysitting ring produced Russell Tricker of Toffs Travel, who used to traffic the kids to Amsterdam, had a video catalogue of all the children who were with that babysitting ring being looked after that were available for sale. That's the catalogue.
That's crazy.
It's true, and it's
James, you off?
No, it's real. Dog outside, so
Oh, is it?
You know what? I've got to go outside for a minute, man. I can't be fucking. This is a lot to hear, mate. I've just got to go and get a bit of air.
It's true.
It was me and you, bruv, you know that, didn't
Have you
you?
got any fags?
I don't smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm gonna have a fag.
Let's have a fag,
Got
mate.
all the game.
Yeah.
Is that alright, Andy?
Yeah.
Let me make sure the cameras are powered off. I'm not.
When you talk about that, it's
Yeah, I
right
don't waste my fucking battery. And these, Mick, just literally
was forced to
trying to move it.
Yeah, hang on, Andy. All we want is something for the fucking Express today. I'll do my interview with you. Just give him something.
Andrew, he needs you to confirm what I've told him.
Phil,
that the
just tell that.
security
Don't move
Leave it
that
on,
there.
leave it on.
If you do that, that's all he wants.
Fucking leave that there. Leave that as well.
But if the place is bugged, then I've got to.
I get it in the neck, not you, because I said it, not you. You confirmed what I said.
We will all get together, that was it.
No, he said that was all right.
Let's go and have a fag, Brian.
All
He
right,
said
I'm
that
coming,
it was all right. You
Chris, can we
confirmed
leave you
it.
two
If I
while
said
we have a cigarette? Leave you
Yeah.
two.
yeah,
Yeah, from where you are is good.
he confirmed. He said it was all right for you to confirm it if somebody else said it.
Yeah, but I've got to say no first time.
Well, you said no.
Do you want to sit down?
No, I'm all right. I'll stand up.
Yes, I've got to say no first time.
Well, you said no. Now, I've mentioned the name. I brought up the security service. I'm the one that's told James that. All you need to do is confirm it.
You know, they just blame me for fucking up.
They can't.
If they've been,
Well, that one's all right. It's going. If you sit there, and if you do talk to him, make sure you see him. So I've got the shot lined up. It's in the same place, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
All right,
okay.
yeah,
That's
I'm just
fine,
gonna have a
mate.
quick fag, mate,
Yeah.
and a bit of air.
So that's what I'm saying to you. You're doing what you've been told to do. You're not offering the
well, I've
information.
just fucked the operation up, haven't I?
No. What operation?
Well, there must be something going
What?
on. If they've got all this trouble about giving me.
That's MI5. That's nothing to do with the police. You know, Fernbridge, the only operation they've got established looking at this is Fernbridge. Fernbridge's brief was the own guest house. Sydney Cook is done and dusted because that's what they set up Operation Orchid for. And that was over 20 years ago. So what operation? You're not fucking anything up, mate. Honestly, you're not. You're doing as you've been told to do. I'm mentioning the names. They said it was all right, you could confirm it. That's all you have to do.
I don't want to upset anybody.
You're not upsetting anybody.
just
No,
want
you're
to-
not, mate. But it's all right. I'll take the flag. That's why I kept butting in. I've told him the security service. All you've done is confirm it, and that's what they said you could do. Yeah.
I don't know if I've already done that though, have I?
All you need to tell him is yes, the security services were present at a couple of interviews you
Well,
did.
there was present security services. They were there when some parties they were.
Right,
Who
but
wanted it in?
then all James needs to hear is you to confirm what I've told him, that the security services were present at a couple of interviews at least that Fernbridge did with you. Yes or no?
Yeah, but
Yes.
I didn't know they never
No.
put themselves as.
No, of course not, but
if
they
there's
never
four
do.
of them and it's normally two of them, yeah.
Yeah, they never do. Settle and
They're dressed differently.
what Settle told you when he said he couldn't confirm that, didn't he? But he did confirm they were not his officers.
Yeah.
Right.
So this was in London when
No, interviews down there. And,
so
yeah, but I've been to London, yeah, but
So the office, there were, let's confirm, there were special branch / MI5 officers sitting in on interviews.
quite a lot of interviews, yeah.
Quite a lot of
At
interviews.
different times, but
And you didn't know who they were to begin with. It was only asked Paul Settle.
no, because Tom Settle didn't actually.
He didn't know who they were.
No, he knows who they are, but he wouldn't tell me. He just said he's one of some of our lads, some of our lads from upstairs.
Okay.
That's how it's. But I never put two and two together.
But he did tell you that the other two that you were concerned about were Dutch special branch.
Well, they're
intelligence.
special branch from, yeah, I did TikToks with special branch from Dutch, from Amsterdam.
And that angle was because there was people, young kids like yourself, trafficked out from London to Amsterdam.
But there's, you've got to understand it's not a one-way thing. we had Dutch kids and other stuff come over here, and they was investigating on this being
So it's
Dutch
going
kids.
both ways.
So it was a two-way thing. And they wanted to find out if I could get them to speak.
And also kids from Eastern Europe too,
Yeah.
being trafficked via Berlin.
They
Yeah.
just wanted me to speak to see if I could try to get out of him, because he wouldn't speak to him. He wouldn't speak to him, but he says, when he says my name, he wanted to speak to me. But actually, it wasn't like you think. All it was like this, and there was nobody in that room apart from a screw guard, and he was in and out of that room.
So this was Roger Cook, yeah? I had Roger Cook, Sydney Cook.
Yeah.
Okay, and this was.
And there was Snopes there, because there was because the Nathan and the other guy weren't even around. They went off for a couple of hours to do other stuff. Well, took place. So
And the reason why they were there, and the reason why they were involved, MI5 Special Branch, Dutch Special Branch, was because of the sensitivity of the names that you were telling the police. Who were
names, they've gone more daft. They've gone dafter since they got. I was fine when they got the documents from NAPEC.
Yeah.
I was fine up to then. But everything was recorded when I was working with Jill Priestley in the papers, because Maxwell had everything recorded to protect himself. The police have got copies of all those recordings now from the paper.
From Eve Pollard.
Yeah,
Priestley's vanished, so it has
it's gone from Will Pollard,
Eve
they must have got them from Will Pollard. But they said they've got the tapes and stuff now, a load of stuff now, and stuff. And as soon as they got those tapes, because I was making phone calls to selected MPs, I was making of the day, I was making phone calls to and I had all the numbers, I had the diaries, I had everything. And when I came to NAPEC, I had a box like that, I'm not joking, a little box about that high, only like that. And it had everything, because Chris came down, because they sent an ad down, and Chris came down, so the ad says, I don't know what to bring. He says to Chris, I don't know what to get. Chris, and as soon as he explained the things to Chris, says, I'm on my way down. Chris got in his car and he came down that evening and everything. And Chris went and talked to.
Right.
Chris went to talk.
What we'll do, Andy, is what we want to do is, because I want to try and sort of just slow things down a little bit and take things clearly and concisely. And if you want, you don't have to. You can just say yes or no, just so I know. Okay. Now, Operation Fernbridge approached you on your birthday last May.
Yeah.
To the door.
That's when I first came to
That was
the door.
when you first came to you. You didn't go to them; they came to you.
I never went to them.
They followed a series of interviews with Fernbridge that happened over a series of months, usually in Bridlington, in a police house which the police used.
There's only a couple of times I've been out of Bridlington, really.
Okay. Those few times that you've been out of Bridlington were in London.
Yeah, and London, yeah.
London and the Isle of Wight.
And the Isle of Wight. And then when you were in London, the Isle of Wight, there were two officers there that you didn't recognise, and you asked who they were later on, and what you were told were that they were from upstairs.
Just upstairs, just
Yeah.
well, I don't know what they mean,
Upstairs.
just from upstairs.
And you were later told that there were spooks, there were spies, or there were intelligence.
I overheard it were things because he was talking in the room and that, and I says, no, they're from upstairs, but upstairs are secret services.
All right.
And he said when we're having a dinner,
Right.
you know, like when they stop the interviews and you go for your lunch and stuff, and the sort of, it just one of those times when you're talking and they told me, but they didn't openly tell me on phones, or didn't openly tell me, so.
No. Okay. And the reason why the security services were involved is because the sensitivity of the names that you were telling the police.
I think it's they don't want. I've got a list of things I can't go near, which is in my head, and I don't want to go there. And I've really showed them I wouldn't want to go there. They couldn't be touched anywhere because they're too high. You can't touch some high people in this country. Even you tried to do a report on it and tried to do that. I tell you, it'll be stopped before it even gets published by people above you. Because they'll be told, your solicitors and lawyers will tell that can't publish, that can't publish.
But one of the people that you were told, one of the people you told to the police was Leon Britton. That's the name of the gave.
Yeah.
He'd been abusing at parties in London. And there were other senior MPs as well.
There's an MP called, there's a Civil Fullsmith, yeah.
Yeah.
Raymond runs a few pubs for him, but who I lived with and everything, and we've done a few pubs for him, like.
Yes, getting back, I want to get back to Leon Britton, because I know from what the information Settle came to me for, there's one surefire way of identifying Leon Britton above anything else. Do you want to tell James what that is?
His birthmark.
His birthmark. And where was his birthmark?
On his, I don't want to stand up because I'm out of shot.
No, just
Sort of on the thigh, just
on the thigh.
Right, now I'm just asking you if you will tell James the story about you, the young girl that you told me at Max Clifford's apartment near Broadcasting House. Could you just tell that story, Andy?
I could tell the story, but
Well, it's only Max Clifford. We won't put
it's just
nothing...
being cleared, haven't they?
Ah?
It's just being cleared.
No. I mean, if you tell,
He's got 7 victims.
so
saying
yeah,
anything.
I've got to put this through lawyers and stuff. So if you tell me, it will just be for now background information purposes, because I won't be able to print it.
It was more girls, though, with...
Right.
Yeah, Max Clifford. But remember the story you told me when you went to his apartment and he gave you a cigarette and a drink?
They gave a cigarette, a drink, and there was... You could have some drugs if you wanted there. And
Was that just you, Clifford and the girl?
me there, Clifford and the girl, but I went with somebody. I went as a gift. I was not a gift. I went there as a
Stud.
stud. If you call it. I was
the stud? You the man?
Yeah.
But you had to have sex with
We
her in front of him.
had a threesome.
Yeah.
You had a threesome with Max Clifford.
And his name was mentioned to police in his interviews. By you.
Possibly. I can't remember all the names that I've mentioned.
But there was a number of...
7 hours, yeah.
And this was the reason why they had the security services sitting on at least 2 of your interviews. That you think?
More. Put it like that.
More.
No, if you put it like that, probably so, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think, because I didn't know at the time, but now when you tell how you're putting it,
Yeah.
it makes a bit of sense.
That they were sitting in. Did the Dutch police officers ask you anything?
Very little there, they just wanted to find out. They really wanted to find out, because they wanted to find out if any of their kids was involved in... They're more interested in that. That's why on my blog I put about the Dutch police a bit. You know, they're not bothered. They're not bothered about us. They didn't come from me.
Did they mention the Rolodex study by any chance, the Dutch police?
Yeah, it's part of that, I think.
Part of the Rolodex
Yeah, it's a
study?
part of that study. But I told you they was doing it, and there was one there at first place.
Yeah.
I can't find one. Nobody knows about it. I've had some people sniff about.
Right.
It's just what you said, but it was there. It was there.
What were the members of the special branch asking you? Were they more interested in Leon
They
Britton?
never asked questions.
They just stood. They
They
just
just sat there. They
taking
didn't
notes.
ask questions. Honestly, they never asked me questions.
Tell us about Edwina Curry. Can you tell that story that you told me about Edwina Curry? Come on, suck on this. Tell the story. Tell the story, eh?
Come on, Anne.
And John Major.
Yeah.
Right. Edwina Curry.
That was at a party as well
Where was the party? Can you remember?
in London.
Right. What happened? Put your mind back to that party. Get the picture in your head and tell us who was there. First. Tell us who was there first.
I'm awful with names.
Was Edwina Curry there?
She was definitely there. Yeah.
Right. Was John Major there?
Yeah. There was quite a few MPs there.
Right. Quite a few MPs at this party. Now just tell us what happened between you
See,
and
there's so
Edwina
many
Curry.
parties and so many different things. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get the right one in my...
Just do that one. Tell us about Edwina Curry. What did she do? What did she do?
I had sex with her because she made me lick a pup.
I'm coming over there. You're coming over there, Andy. You're
Do you remember
coming-
that pussy out?
Edwina Curry, what happened at this party?
She was she we didn't go to party, people stay in their own groups, so you go to things and that, and
Different rooms?
no, she would edge on, it was like an edged on thing, and the thing like, they edge each other on, you know, like,
What,
They have
what,
a
in a
job.
crowd? In a crowd?
yeah, when I say a crowd,
Few.
few people.
Was this the
big-
party at the Cabinet Office? Downing Street one.
It could have been there, but I think it was at the nightclub because it
Oh, a night
Right.
right.
it was
So
at
tell me about-
Stringfellows.
You had sex with Edwina Curry? Yeah?
Yeah, I didn't put my dick in it, if that's what you mean.
Well, what kind of sex did you have? So
Maybe
listen,
a
Grateful for small mercy.
she made you lick her pussy.
Yeah.
How did she do that? Tell
It
me,
was
tell me.
edged on to do it.
Yeah.
The only thing, and the people's edging, it was like.
So Edwina Curry got you, there was a little crowd, you was all having a
And
laugh.
then she pushed she pushing my head on and everything. She
She pushed your head down onto her pussy. When she puts your head down there, did she say anything?
She did. I can't remember what she said. I can't. So long ago, I can't remember all the words she said.
So you had oral sex with her.
Is that what you call all sex if you come out? Yeah.
Yeah. How was she down there? Was she clean?
Awful. Didn't like it.
It didn't like it. Why? Because it stunk?
Stunk, yeah.
Right, so she wasn't very clean. Who else was at the party? Was John Major at that party?
He went, but he'd go earlier. We do at a party, John Major would go earlier.
What did John Major like, boys or girls?
I've never had sex with John. I don't think I've ever had sex. I could have. Don't.
Because there were a lot of drugs involved, weren't there?
What drugs were they?
You could have speed, you could have coke. Those are the main two drugs. But they also put stuff in our drinks and stuff.
Spiked you?
Spiked us, yeah. And everything that they will never touch our drinks. If we got drinks, we'd have his own drinks and
Was
stuff.
Jimmy Savile at that party with Edwina Curry?
Yeah, he was there. We've got quite a few BBC there. Quite a lot of BBC there.
So he was there,
Well, there, yeah, there were a lot of BBC
and
there.
that was a night that you had to.
Yeah, it was the
Suck her
BBC
cunt.
was in the BBC lot. Well, the BBC lot were doing it there because the MPs, quite a few MPs were there, but they were just shaking their head like sort of shaking their head and joking about it and that. They're shaking their head and sort of putting their hands out saying no.
But they were still
Because there were
there.
a couple of reporters there.
Because you know what it is? It's like, what I need, me personally, people to understand is that all these parties, you see, when people are talking about this child abuse, they're thinking like it was all violent. It wasn't all violent like Sidney Cook used to perpetrate or Jimmy Savile. It was more in the respect of fun. So you felt like adults because they were letting you smoke, you could have cigarettes, you could have drink, and you could have sex with people like Edwina Curry or whatever.
Don't forget the.
So you must have felt quite powerful
Don't
yourself.
forget they get you into Stringfellows and stuff like that. They can get you into top places and stuff. And
Stringfellows had no problem.
if I'd gone to a door, a little kid, as a kid, if I'd gone to a door, the Stringfellows, they'd tell me to bugger off.
Yeah.
I'm underage or something.
Yeah,
But if I
but
go in with somebody who's got some authority, they don't even ask a question, they just wave them in.
who? Tell me some of the people you went to Stringfellows with. Give me one. Give James one. You can give me
I've been
loads.
in with Jimmy Savile, I've been in with.
You went in with Jimmy Savile.
I've been in with quite a few. I went in with
Clifford.
Clifford and I went in
Did
with.
you go into Stringfellows with Clifford?
I've been in with Clifford, yeah.
How old was you?
15.
You went to all the best places. I would fucking die to go to Stringfellows. You know what I mean? Something like Stringfellows.
And I was quite. With dance floor comes a part of floor, and it was all new there back then. It was all.
Can I tell you how I see
And
it?
it'll tell
I see it
you.
as a mind control. You understand? Now, I'm a parent and I'm a grandparent, right? Now, see my grandkid, if I said chocolate, he'd eat it. Chocolate, he'd eat it. He'd eat till he was sick. And when he gets a bit older, if I said have a drink, he'd have a drink. He'd do Do you understand? So these people were not just coming across as friends, they put you in a false sense of security where you believed that you were adults.
When they have the parties in Stringfellows, they don't do it when the public's there. It's like a lot, because there used to be laws them days that you had to close at a certain time, even nightclubs had to close at a certain time.
Yeah.
And
then they have afters.
And they'd have afters, but that's where the party would be in the top VIP suite, like at the top. And above the VIP suite is like a flat type area with office. It was done, wasn't used as a flat really, it was had rooms in it and stuff with beds in down one side. And then
did you ever see Mick Jagger at any of these parties?
Boy George, Mick Jagger. I've seen a lot of Cliff Richards were there. There's been no, I didn't go to that one. Sorry, what you're on about. I've seen him at parties. Elton John were there though.
Elton John. Do you know what vicarious liability is? Vicarious liability, right, is supposing I had a sex party for children, right, and they were there, and someone was not taking part in that sex or anything, but they were there, and they never disclosed that information to the police. That makes them guilty of vicarious liability, and it's a serious charge.
Well, they haven't charged. They haven't charged Cliff Richards, who says he's been in these places, but he didn't touch them.
No.
It all been in our guest house. I said, I didn't know that was going on.
Did you ever go to your own guest house?
I could have done, I don't know.
But you can't remember because so much.
I've been to so many different shady places in London. It's unbelievable.
So when you was going to all these parties, Andy, you was on drink and drugs. So there was a lot of stuff that you couldn't remember because of it. Is that it?
Well, you wake up and you go to a party and then you could wake up in somebody's bed day after and you don't know how you got there because of the stuff they give you. You start getting drunker and drunker and you just thought it was a drink because you drink daft. Don't care what anybody says when you're a young kid and it's there free, you drink daft, especially when you're out of care.
Can I ask you, Andy, when you put these names, when you gave the officers these names, people like Edwina Curry, people like Leon Britton, what was the reaction of the officers, the police officers who were interviewing you?
The eyes didn't go up, they just says not one. Some of the names it says not again.
Not again.
Who was that? Was that Leon Britton?
Yeah, who did they say
Leon
again?
Yeah.
What about Edwina Curry?
The eyes, his face, you could tell his face expressions. Nathan is good at not giving things away, but he gives it away with his face, so you can look at his face when you're in, if you like that, and look at your face. And when I say something, his face up. When he's serious, you look, and then if you say something, his face goes up. You know, you can tell when he's getting excited when you tell him something.
Yeah. Did he do that on Edwina Curry? Did he get excited?
Yeah, quite a lot of people.
Did you ask to see these videos that you're in with Leon?
Can't see anything like that. If I ask to see those now, I had a police officer, I had a thing, and I'm looking at a kid have sex, so I can be arrested. That's what I was told. So that's where they can't.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Do you know what I mean? But you know these at these parties, right? The people that were there, were they all involved in the sex, or were some of them like just voyeuristic? And because you told me a story like Max Clifford was a bit of a voyeur. He wanted to watch you have sex with that girl.
Some people just like to watch, and some people took photos if they could. For
so they were taking pictures there as well.
Yeah, and most places photos are taken, virtually everywhere. I mean, even in guest houses are taken. Seems to be an in thing in guest houses, having video cameras. Now, you're going back when video cameras, well, you don't have to be really rich to have video cameras.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
You know, these are like, you go in the scruffiest bed and breakfast sort of place, guest house type of place. Sometimes you don't even know a guest house. You know, broken windows with a bit of tape on and everything, and as soon as you go in, they'd have a big massive camera there. And
That sounds like the old guest house to me.
Just saying, sorry, was Peter Stringfellow aware of everything that was going on in his club?
He likes little girls.
So he was part of that group
He was part of that group.
How old were the little girls he liked?
Never touched a boy, didn't jinx Stringfellow, to my knowledge.
What age did he like his girls?
12 up.
Oh, fuck.
What about Esther Ranson?
I've seen her in parties at BBC. Do you know the big round building at BBC?
Yeah.
But
What, the sex parties?
I couldn't say her husband, not her husband.
Was he there?
Her husband went to it. He's a Mason. Is her
He's dead
husband.
now, isn't he?
Mm.
Yeah. There were allegations against him. And what about her brother? Did her brother go? She got a brother?
Don't know. I won't know. Brother, I saw him possibly.
What's her husband do, if you don't mind asking?
I don't know what job he did.
No, when he went to the parties, was he part of, for the children, like...
He's bisexual. He likes boys and girls. Quite a lot of them do.
Yeah.
That's why they're both there.
Yeah.
Over Christmas, the police, you had a police officer looking after you, didn't you? Like you didn't realise it, but you.
Well, I did know. I did realise it. I did know because we signed documents to say it were. Oh, we didn't know we'd signed a document. We did. They come under with some. You forgot. We've got some documents for you to sign. Is it okay? We'll go through them. They went through the first couple of documents,
Right.
but then the documents kept coming.
And you just signed them.
And then they were coming really quick. Some documents were in shorthand. I can't read shorthand. To me, it was like shorthand.
Yeah.
But the officer
I signed
said
it.
that he'd been assigned by Fernbridge to look after you, make sure you're all right. And he'd mentioned that there were MI5 officers working up.
No,
in
it was Nathan and the Scottish guy that was with me all
Temley.
They was with me all the when we went to the hotel. They were with me, not surfacers, not sick, but they were there. They kept coming, they kept seeing them and stuff.
But they said that the members of the security services were staying in a hotel that
We
night.
were all staying at the same hotel for 3 days.
What hotel was that?
It was Castle.
What's it called, Chris? That
I
hotel?
think it's called Castle Hotel.
Castle
In Hull.
Castle Hill Hotel.
Castle Hill Hotel.
Is it in Hull?
Yeah, it's got swimming pool.
It's a quite swanky one, isn't it? Posh place.
Spanky, do you need
No, but a posh place, is it?
£35 for a bowl of soup? We only about probably we're just over halfway on interviews, and I've done 70 hours because you got to realise there was a lot of from the day when I was 8 years old to leaving school. Well, not just leaving school to when I was 21. But I have been told that we don't want you to really go on about between leaving school and 21 because of the new laws. So they're not concentrating on that now.
I was quite interested in the question he asked you about whether Fernbridge ever gave you an explanation as to why they want, because Cook was part of Operation Orchid, which is a done and dusted, finished police operation. It's not been reopened.
No, because it's a different investigation.
Yeah, exactly. So did he give you an explanation as to why what was clearly covered by Operation Orchid, done and dusted, was in Fernbridge, which was about something totally different? Did they indicate, I mean, somewhere there must be a link between the two for Fernbridge?
I wouldn't know, Chris.
And he didn't tell you?
No, he didn't tell me.
So they just basically said they wanted you to go in and talk to Sydney Cook?
Well, no, they didn't say go and talk to him. He'd only talk. He says he'd like to talk to you. We think it'd be good if you could go and talk to him.
Yeah.
And if you talk to him, can you try to get this out of him, that out of him? They gave me a list of things that I tried to get out of him, but I couldn't put into his.
So they must have already spoken to him.
Well, yeah, his name's come up in investigations, and they've gone there and he won't talk.
Right, for the Fernbridge investigation, this would be. So then they've asked you to ask specific questions at Cook. Can you remember what they were?
It was a piece of paper I read off. I know it sounds silly, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
There's the lads' names, kids' names, some of them were kids' names, there were loads of names there, like, of kids. And a great big list of kids' names and stuff.
Did the name Vishnu Marat come out?
Rings a bell, it could. Possibly. Yeah, no. A bell rings a bell, but I can't remember the first name.
Can you remember what Edwina Curry was wearing that night? She have any knickers on?
Yeah, she had red knickers on, like red, racy type knickers, because she took them off and swung them downstairs and went like that. It was like coming, like a bit like a bloody not prostitute, like a stripper.
Like a dancer. Well, like that, was she giving it all that? Like, hey.
Yeah, well, she was drunk out. She was totally drunk out of her head.
Was she taking any drugs, any cocaine or anything?
You'd be surprised they would just take cocaine.
Surprise us. Hang on, everyone. Surprise us. Who takes?
Speaking on nearly all the musicians that I knew and stuff like that. And
what about the
they all
politicians?
took it.
What about the politicians?
A couple of politicians, not all the
Well,
politicians.
I'll tell you something. A Labour Party conference, Andy, it was about 12 years ago. They tested every toilet on every venue. They didn't find one toilet clean. They found cocaine on every one.
Well, when I went to
And 90% of banknotes have cocaine on them.
back in the day when Thatcher was in power,
Yeah.
when I went to a party, I went to a party in Action, and it's been recorded. It's been so they know that I was there. So I went to a party in number 10, but not in 10 itself, because there's a big massive. They're all connected together. You go in, and it's massive, because you look on TV, you think it's just one house, don't you?
So,
But
as you
like,
go
when
in,
you go inside, it's like 3 floors near the whole block.
when you went in there, you go in the front
And
door.
then there's a passage.
What colour was it? What colour were the walls? Can you remember?
They were different then. There was like a brown. I can't remember. There was wallpaper then. A lot of wallpaper, and they had like brown type. I don't know if they were flowers or what on, but they were like. It was.
Like your
One
nets.
would have called best flop wallpaper.
Was it like you see your nets?
No, it won't
Andy,
flock.
see the nets behind you. Was it like that? Busy, like a busy.
Busy like that, yeah.
Okay.
Andy, can you remember the MPs that did take cocaine
Yeah.
that you could think of?
I tell you, but I can't remember his name. His name's just gone out of my head. Today, isn't it? He's still in government today, and he's virtually bald now. But he was only a boy back then.
William Hague.
And
William
he was
Hague?
just a kid a young boy back. Well, not a young boy. He was a teenage. Probably your age.
William Hague, is that?
Yeah, probably was around your age then. Yeah, 20, 30.
William Hague, was it
Yeah,
William Hague?
maybe, yeah.
Can we get a picture of William Hague? Anyone get one on their phone or
I've
something?
got one, man. We've been with several.
Show him.
And he's sniffing.
It was William Hague.
No,
Just
it's on
one
the
ID.
drive.
He's
Gingerish, bald, sort of horseshoey sort of haircut, sort of.
But I like coke, because I'll tell you why you like coke, because you get the right coke. I mean, the top quality stuff. I don't mean there's a lot of shite about. I'm not a cokehead anymore. No. But how I got hooked on coke back then, and the saying how it was then, is the top quality stuff was quite powerful, especially when people made love to you all out. It used to.
It's a sex drug, isn't it?
It puts you in a different thing. Everything sounds. It's like magnified brass there. Do you know what I mean? Don't you? It's a different world, isn't it? And you're out of it, so. And you can do anything.
Hi, my name's Ian Puddick. Anyone that knows me knows I'm very, very lucky for going out and finding leaks on things.